Grand rising to everyone. Grand rising, Tonya. How are you doing?
Wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful. I
There's no
see.
other way to be, right?
Nice, nice. I see the usual early birds this morning.
Let's see who's with us.
Janet, um, finding my way back. Tammy was first in. Jay, Lauren, Dawn, we haven't seen you for a long time. We missed you. D. Ahava, Pretty Girl Chrissy, everyone, thank you for being here. We are moving right into it. It's been a wild ride. That's how I feel right now. I'm still kind of, I don't want to use the word recovery, but it's been such an odd time that recovery might be a good word. I feel like I'm coming back to myself now. I've just been in the silence. I've just felt not to move, not to say anything, not to do anything. Let me know, how have you guys been feeling? How have you guys been navigating this period? Let me know. All right. So I am trying to get back to the comments page. Tonya, how have you been?
Riding the waves, going with the flow.
Yes, 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 yes.
I
I
don't know
see.
how to swim yet, but I'm learning.
Listen, we better learn how to swim because there's going to be a lot of swimming necessary, right? Because we are moving into a very, I don't know, energetically turbulent period. But we by gathering here every portal day, we are preparing ourselves to be able to navigate those twirls and swirls, according to Janet. It's been in and out of whirlwinds. Yeah, that's a very apt description. So I just want to, let you guys know that this is what's going to happen and it's okay. We are equipped for this. So never fear, do not worry. Now, I'm gonna do very quickly the some announcements before I turn over to Tonya. One of the things that I have tried my best to stay away from is AI and asking AI to help me to do stuff. Um, uh, I've also stayed away from forming a formal community. I like this informal, loose community that we have where we gather for morning meditations on the portal days. However, intuitively, I'm feeling as if we're moving into a phase where we're gonna, we're gonna, I don't know what's the word. We're gonna be needing to gather with each other a little more. So for the first time, I'm actually considering forming the opportunity for a community, not so that I can be your leader, because that's one thing that I am not in favor of. That is very primitive. That's very religious oriented. We are not that. But from the perspective of being able to share experiences with each other, pick up trends with each other and patterns, because we're moving into a phase now where we're going to have to read the patterns, the energetic patterns, very carefully so that we can know how to move and how to navigate this next period. It's going to be interesting. That's all I can say. All right. So listen out for that. I'm also using today to announce that we are going to be hosting a men's retreat in July. Tony and I have been discussing this for a while. I've dragged my feet a little, but I'm one of those people who I don't put things out there until I'm energetically at my optimal. I don't want to send out things when my energy is low. So you're going to be hosted not by me, but by some Jamaican men and a few other men. You will get the details as they arise, and so we recommend this for any of the seekers that are men, or if you women here have men, young men or older men that you feel would benefit from this, you can share it with them. Okay. The next thing I would also announce is that I'm going to be moving away from Instagram. I'm not feeling the space at all, but um, it's not that I'm going to be popping on YouTube all the time. I'm going to be doing most of the things on my website. Why? Because I feel like I don't want to be too much out there. I want us to kind of have a closed group and we share over there and so on. So you will get more details of that as we streamline that. Okay. So we'll definitely be meeting more times per month, maybe 3 times, 4 times per month. Um, there's going to be a small team of us, myself, Tonya. Ron is going to be also with us. So we're going to be doing a weekly ancestral resolve session with Rohan. And I am going to be re. Hmm, I'm going to start back the crystal grid activations. Why? Because there is a specific need for us to hold and stabilize the grid a little bit more as a group. And so those of us who used to be part of that, you know, we're going to start it back. And for those of you who were not a part of it, it is very powerful. It is a very powerful modality for the global work that needs to be done now. So, with all of that, I am going to hand over to everyone. I just want to acknowledge the first time attendees. I see Aisha saying this is her first time here. Aisha, you're gonna love it. I see Shanette has just arrived. Good morning. Tony, how are you? And everybody else who is here and they didn't type anything, welcome. You know I acknowledge you anyway. For those of you that are Reiki practitioners, feel free to do what you need to do in the moment that you need to do it, okay? And I'm going to hand over to Tonya for her morning reflections, after which we're going to invite Dr. Claudette to the stage. She will talk about the three portal within the Igbo cosmology and talk a little bit more about how this month is perceived. So, with no further ado, I'm going to hand over to Tonya.
Thank you, Paula, and welcome to those joining us for the first time, and welcome back to our regular friends. It's so wonderful to see you. And on the 3-3, according to the Igbo calendar, we are at a very, very important time of the year. And this master number 3-3 is filled with energy for spiritual growth, awakening, blessings, unwavering love and support. And so, regardless of the tumultuous times and what appears to be chaotic and disturbing to some, let not your heart be troubled or anxious for anything, but just allow the peace that is within you to emerge, to develop, to blossom, because it's from that space of inner peace that we can cultivate the stillness necessary, as Paula said, to navigate these times, to be able to ride the waves and come out on top, because we are all here at this time for a purpose. Our purpose is to support humanity, to bring light to the collective, to be light, to be love, to be peace. That's our true nature. We just have to allow it to shine forth from within us. It's already here. We already have what we need. We only need to acknowledge that we are. And so I just want to invite our spiritual team. As you know, they are all here: the ancestors, ascended masters, angels, archangels, the benevolent ones. We're calling them all in because we're not alone. They're here. They've been here just like we've been here. This is not the first time around. And so, with gratitude, let us just give thanks. Let us just allow peace and love and light to flow from within us. Let us be the beacons that we know we are. It's easy. Trust me. It's not as difficult as people say it is. And don't get discouraged by the naysayers that call you out for wanting to choose a path of love and light. Because it is a choice. It is a choice to be peace. It is a choice to be love. It is a choice to magnify your light. And so we're on the path of choosing heaven on earth. So if you're here with us today, I guess that means you're here for the journey. So stick around, don't leave, don't faint. All is well. And with that, I would just turn it back over to Paula to continue with today's meditation hour. Namaste.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Tonya. It is such an honor to be here and to be here with you guys. We've been doing this for what, almost 2 years, Tonya, and we have a very committed group of persons who are here for every single meditation. And if they cannot wake up, they still do the meditation throughout the course of the portal day, which, as you guys know, the portal days have a lot of significance numerically. And numbers are significant. Numbers play a huge role in life in general. So we just want to thank everyone for being here. We want to thank the ones of you that have been committed for so many years. Sometimes some people go missing and then they return, and we just embrace them with open arms and open hearts. We know that what we do here is coming straight from the heart. We know that we gather here for our personal healing and also for collective healing and raising of Earth's vibration. We like to call ourselves the new persons. We just want to let you know, we like to call ourselves the midwives that are birthing new Earth. And new Earth is the concept of an Earth where the vibration is higher. And some of the suffering and the third dimensional traumas that we endure every day are no longer present. So that's where we're going. This period that we're in is called ascension, and we are aided by the ancestors, by the spirit guides, by our higher selves, by divine source to get us back to this place where we're operating in the fifth density, which is much less dense than the third density. So this is where we are. So without further ado, before we begin the meditation, we're going to learn a little bit more about the Igbo calendar. And we're going to, at this time, invite Dr. Claudette Anderson to the stage. My device keeps clicking off. So that's why you'll see my hand. All right, so Tony, I'm going to remove you from the stage now, but Tonya is always here. She's in the background. She's a Reiki practitioner, so sometimes she'll be doing her Reiki while we're doing our meditation. And so we'll add her back to the stage when the time comes. All right, grand rising to you, Rohan. We see you. Dr. Claudette, we're bringing you to the stage at this time. Very briefly, and we're also bringing your presentation to the stage. Let me add that first, and then add Dr. Claudette. Grand Rising, Dr. Claudette, how are you?
Isala Chi, I am very well. Grand Rising to you
Yes,
and to everyone here. It is
thank you,
indeed
thank you.
a pleasure and a privilege. Thank you. Um,
Well,
Pardon.
I would like you to just start out by telling us what Isala Chi is, language
Okay.
wise.
Yes, beautiful. Uh, it's interesting this business of greeting the day or greeting
Yes.
the morning. Isala Chi. Um, The easiest way to translate it is to say, have you cleansed your chi? So
Ah,
within Igbo culture, your chi is like your higher mind, your God self, your holy guardian angel, all of those terms that we're used to. Your chi is your personal God. And chi, the word chi is also used broadly to refer to the supreme being. There are many nuances of it, as you can imagine, from um, a culture that's one of the earliest cultures on earth, and we know that within these cultures, one word has basic four meanings. So
mm,
chi then becomes energy of the universe, the very thing in which we live and move and have our being. And we project that, let us say we project that onto the zodiac, and so we end up with what we call angels, which are really the angles. So the four archangels are basically the four angles, right, of the zodiac: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Raphael, Michael, Anna. All of these words that we've inherited that reference, let us call them energies, our spirit beings, we know obviously they will always emanate from Africa. So if you have four cardinal directions and four elements, and therefore you're going to have four basic chis or energies that serve the day. So the chi in the morning is the chi of sunrise. And so within the culture, you don't just get up and go. You get up and to be in balance, you check yourself. So instead of praying in the traditional sense of begging that we've become used to, one affirms oneself when one awakes. And that affirmation is a checklist of the things that we are supposed to do. That is to say, the thing that we're supposed to be, and that is clean. If there's an aspect of our lives that's not clean, then we make amends as we get up in the morning by pouring libation or whatever it is that we need to do, or create the intent to correct that thing that isn't clean. And so when we say Isala Chi, have you cleansed your chi? That's the first time I'm seeing you in the morning. We don't engage with each other unless we're clean. So when I'm asking you, have you cleansed your chi? What I'm asking you is, how are you? Are you clean enough? Are you ready for the day? Are you balanced? Are you one with God? Which is quite different from saying good morning. So that's the
I
kind
love
of
it. I
long
love it. I love
explanation,
it.
but
No,
simple.
but you see, it is so relevant to what we're actually doing here this morning. So I'm so happy that I asked the question. And I think we all probably are going to end up starting to say Isala Chi to
Yes.
each other as a greeting. So thank you for that beautiful and relevant explanation.
Ah,
So I'm going to allow you to jump right into your presentation as we um, dive into the 3-3 portal and we continue to try more and more to understand the Evo calendar, the four directions, the elements, and all the things associated with the market day. So I'm handing right over to you, muting my mic, muting my camera, and handing over to you.
okay, thank you. And thanks everyone for your ears. There's always a lot to say because as I just explained, four meanings to one word. But I really want to introduce you today to the concept of ikenga. Ikenga. We're in the third month, so we re-began um, with Onwa Mbu, which is the first month, and then we went into Onwa Abu, which is the second month. And today we're at the third month, which is Onwa Ifeke. Onwa Ifeke. And we say it's the month of the Big Bang. The Big Bang as separation and the Big Bang as equilibrium. It's a very nuanced um, kind of approach to creation. And so I really want to start off with this particular image as I talk about balance. And then whatever else comes, I'm just opening my mouth for the ancestors to speak through me. So we covered Oguafo, the Iba year count, with this image. This is the cover of the calendar. And what we did was to symbolize equilibrium or balance, both vertically, as you can see, the white and the colored. If you're facing out, the image would be your right hand and the white space would be your left hand. And so that is vertical balance, which is how we start the year because we start at the equinox, which is in the sign of Pisces, the fish, with the earth literally in Virgo. And we start the year there in spring. The equinox has equal night and day. And this is a very important concept in Igbo culture, equality and sovereignty. Now, if you look at the image, which would be to your left, which is really your right hand, you will see that it's balanced horizontally. That is to say, we have the above and below, and then there's the left and the right. And so, if you look, you will see that the two hands above, two hands below, we bring them together. It forms the egg, which is that contains all that lives. And this is the beauty of this image that was done by Chumo Anabedo, where he was saying, we're going to protect you with our healing hands. If you look, you will see arrows aimed at those hands. And his thought was to protect the children. We're all children. Everybody has a mother and a father, which is to say, everybody is balanced. You will notice that within the figure of the egg, you can clearly see an above and below. And there are actually four figures there, which again, we cannot escape that for those forces within which we live and breathe and have our being. And so this cover of the calendar is a basic representation of what the Igbos call Ikengo, which is really balance. But if you go into Igbo land, or if you ask any Igbo person today, what is Ikengo? They're going to tell you that it is the cult of the right hand. That is to say, with the advent of patriarchy, Even within Igbo culture, this concept of balance has become more about activity and the active side. For those of you who are, within the esoteric bent, you will know that the left hand is considered female, belongs to your mother, which is why it's white in the calendar, and your right hand is considered the male hand, and it's active. So one is your inheritance and one is your legacy. Could I have the next slide, please? So when we look at ourselves as a house, right, we seek within this month of Ifeke, which we're calling the Big Bang, we need to conceive now of the number three, which in Igbo culture is the Ikenga number. We conceive of three as balance. And why is three balance? Obviously, it's the middle column, right? It's that pole. It's that pole of the seven chakras. It's that pole that connects the left side to the right side. So this is the mystery of creation, that in the month of Ifeke, which is the month of the Big Bang, Ife means light. Eke has, as I said, there are basic four meanings, but I'm giving you the two that are relevant. And Eke, in this instance, means explosion. So the explosion of light, the Big Bang that we hear about, has its genesis within the African cultures that gave birth to the modern world. So we conceive then of three as really that moment of creation. And think about it: sex between a man and a woman creates big bangs, and that big bang becomes the child, the middle. It's the child, we hear, that holds families together. If you have a family without a child, um, it is not as efficient, it is not as welcomed. As a matter of fact, it is frowned upon. It is expected that you come together, you balance yourself with a child. And in this sense, the strength of the house, Ikenga, means strength of the house. The strength of the house is neither the mother nor the father. The strength of the house is the middle pillar, which is the child or the children. So, what are we to do with all of what I've said? We're in the third month. We're talking about balance. We're talking about creativity. It is a month that began with the sun in Taurus and the moon in Scorpio. Right away, we have a perfect balanced pairing of earth and water, which is the optimum mix. So, this month, as we conceive of it within the Iboan context, is a month for us to ground ourselves, to transform ourselves into balance. Scorpio, the lunar sign, is a sign of transformation and change. Taurus is an earth sign, grounding. If we have not yet, in the past 2 months, found a way to balance and ground ourselves for these 28 days where we have a 3-3 portal, a double power, master number, double power of equilibrium and balance and binding ourselves to ourselves. We see the third month, the Big Bang. It creates separation, but within that separation, if we could have the first slide, Paula, within that separation and distance, we see strength and uniqueness. The child that comes forth from this Big Bang is an individual, a sovereign, unique in its own way. So while the creative force and the way that life progresses on earth, which is what the calendar mimics and symbolizes, is that we come together and we celebrate parents. We know that it takes two to make things go right. It takes two to make it out of sight, as the song says. But the thrust of the universe is that we create, we recreate. That's another meaning of Eke, to create something. So the two come together and we create a third. If we're balanced, that is to say, our male and our female side, our inheritance and our legacy, what will we give birth to this month? What will we create? If it isn't that we're already balanced, how do we create that balance? And if we're already balanced and grounded, what is it that we need to change? Ikenga says, as the cult of the right hand, our legacy, what we leave, our daily life, what we do, because our inheritance is our humanity. We're already here. And as Tanga was saying a while ago, right? We're already here. This is what it means to be an earthling. That's your inheritance. What will you do with this humanity? Do we even know what it means? Have we forgotten that it means to be balanced and to live in concert with the earth? And so the strength of the house, Ike is strength, Nga is house, or Obi. Conceive of yourself as a house. How will you take care of your house in balance? Your chi, which is that number three, your personal deity or God, will you continue to cleanse it? Because cleansing it is a form of balance. To be clean, which is another one of our daily affirmations. And what that means, cleanliness, not in the Gregorian or the European sense, but cleanliness as balance. Three as balance. That you have taken care of what you've gotten, and in taking care of your inheritance and paying homage and understanding your inheritance, that is to say who you are, then you can begin to create your legacy. Separation, explosion, distance as a blessing, as a form of equilibrium. Space, that space in your marriage, that space in your relationship that allows you to be unique, even as you look forward to binding yourself again with that other. So, what I want to say about the third month of the Igbo calendar is that we use the number three, as we now come to understand it, as a number of multiplicity, but also a number of balance, a number that is able to ground us within this context of Taurus, Earth, Scorpio, water, north and south, our vertical self, change. Number three, as the ability to transform and to change through recognizing our own uniqueness, because the Big Bang created all of us as unique individuals. And the journey, the Igbos say we're here on market day. It is Eke Day, which is day of fire. It's a portal. It's a fire portal. How will you use the fire, the water, the earth to transform yourself? How will you explode in this month in balance? And I want to leave it there, um, just to say, welcome to the month of balance. Welcome to the month where you recognize yourself as unique. Welcome to the 3-3 Ikengo fire portal. This is an image, or these are images of the Iboan symbolization of this balance. In particular, if you pay attention to the figure that's at the bottom right, you will see that there's a sword in the right hand. And it's always this notion that we carve our way, we cut our way, we chop our way. Our legacy is how we clear our own path as we become the path and be ourselves. But it's always balanced. There's always something in both hands. And you'll see some of these ikengas are layered. And an ikenga is a personal, what you're seeing here are things that are carved, that are commissioned to be carved to represent what the individual conceives of itself to be within the Iboan space. And usually this is done through divination. You will see that there are layers in the top middle one. Sometimes it's just one room in the house, and sometimes we conceive of ourselves as having 3 or 4 stories. Sometimes we say we want a sword. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to use the mind. Another time the person takes the wand and they said, maybe I'm going to write. But this is a representation of the individual. And these ikengas are placed in very special places within the house. They're sacred, they're honored. You're not allowed, not anybody is allowed to come in and touch it, because if you think about it, it represents your best self, your highest self. And within Igbo culture, we say we're here on market day seeking our best self. So we're looking in the mirror when we get an individual ikenga made, and it's usually the males who get it made, because it's the notion of what you leave for your legacy. And a lot of these utensils that are in the right hand tend to be, phallic shaped, whereas in the left hand you would have more oval and circular motifs there. So please go online. As I told Paula, I have a beautiful image of the most beautiful ikenga. I couldn't find it to present to you. So these images, of course, if you go online, you can find much better ones. And also, if you care to have an ikenga made, um, what's happening within our culture as we seek to recover some of these traditions is that we begin to use them as artwork or artifacts. So you can commission an ikenga to be made more as an art piece, as opposed to the more esoteric chi meanings that obtain. So you can let me know um, if you want to have an ikenga made. Also want to say that beginning next Gregorian month, but also our next month on the 4th month after the summer chi. Again, now you know that summer is an energy of heat. It's a chi. It's a form of, we deify it, right? We will begin classes on the Igbo calendar. We'll have a set of 4 to begin with. and we will let you know about that going forthwith. We also, if you go on the website, we have a watch available, which we're going to also explain during that course. We have an app that's available now for you to go on the website and use so you can know what market date is. We're still developing the app. We're seeking crowdfunding. So if you want to invest, feel free. Our information is there. And this calendar, more detailed calendar page that we just showed, we have that calendar available for download for a simple $7. So if you want to support our cause so that we can have something, more readily available next year, we would love um, you to support us as we integrate this Iboan heritage into our daily life. Welcome to
Wow.
Ikengo. May you find your strength in this month.
Thank you so much, Dr. Claudette. That was jam packed, filled with so much insight. And, it's so important for us to understand the foundations of a calendar and what the group of people who created the calendar were thinking of. And it's so beautiful how they focus so much on the chi being clean and things like balance and so on. And this is what, the West would call primitive, but look
Yes,
how beautiful and evolved the cosmology is, the concepts are. So thank you so much for bringing that to us. I've just typed in the comment section. Unuchi Foundation is the website. Is it unuchi.org, Dr.
yes,
Claudia?
yes.
Unuchi.org.
Unuchi.org. Yes,
Okay. And you said on the website, we can also send you questions, comments, and we can also email you, and we can also download the calendar if we want to have a PDF version of the calendar. There's a cost to
yes,
that.
and you can
And
also call me. There's a number there
right.
too. So I'm available. Yes.
Excellent, excellent. And
Mhm.
Dr. Claudette, she don't like me to talk about this part, but she can also give advice from the spiritual perspective. She has lived and worked and been initiated in this cosmology, so she's available to answer questions and to help and assist you. There's also an app that is coming up. And when that time comes, we will have a tutorial around the app, because what we want is for people to be able to go on the app, check what market day it is, and start to synchronize with the market day, the element that is governing the day, the direction that is governing the day, so that we build our day around the element, build our day around the direction. For example, if it's a north day and north is associated with a particular element, hey, let me wear this color today, and let me organize my business so I am mostly in the north today, or I travel to the north today, etc., etc. It's, just ways that you can start to incorporate it. So thank you so much, Dr. Claudette. We learned so much.
Most
And I
welcome.
think,
Happy to be here.
yes,
Thank you.
thank you. And with that, we are going to move into our meditation. So I want everyone to just get themselves tuned up and ready for the meditation. We're going to do our breath work first of all, to synchronize our right and left hemisphere and synchronize with each other, because the work that we're going to do now is the work of balancing each other, since we are focused on the three, which is the balance, the Big Bang. And we're also going to be focusing on the planet, because there's a lot going on in the planet. And I will describe it as I'm going along. So without further ado, take some nice deep breaths. And as we move into the meditative state, I wanted us to breathe deeply to the count of 4, hold to a count of 4, and breathe out to a count of 4. I'm going to do 3 sets, and right after we do those 3 sets, we're going to open our eyes briefly and look at the document that I've shared, because we're going to be doing a little bit of grid work, a little visualization around stabilizing the grid. So take a nice deep breath in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. You're trying to get out all that stale air from sleep. Breathe in again through the nose and breathe out. Breathe in again through the nose and breathe out. Now we're going to do the deep breathing to get the right and left brain coherence, because we are going to be bringing in light and we're going to be holding the grid together. So we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and a nice big breath in and breathe out. Now today's meditation is going to be around bringing in the light and being that point on the earth's surface that we visualize ourselves to be when we are doing these meditations. And I want you to just open your eyes very briefly and look at the visual that is on the screen. It says the dragon ley lines. I don't know where this dragon thing came up, but I know them as the ley lines or the energy lines, right? So what you see here is line work on the surface of the earth. And all of those points there are representing us. We are that point. And you notice there's some concentric circles going out from each point. That's what happens when we meditate. Our auric field increases in diameter and we are able to influence a lot more area spatially than if we were not meditating. So the more we meditate is the larger our energy field radiates out from our point, from our body. The reason why I'm showing this image this morning is because I want us to visualize this grid. It is, there are several grids that exist um, on the planet at this time. There is the earth grid, there is the light grid, there is the crystalline grid. And of course, the crystalline grid has to do with the fact that there are crystals within the earth, and those crystals are holding um, a line work or energetic connection between them. So the ley lines are the energetic undercurrents of Mother Earth, the chakra system of our greatest mother, the crystalline stabilizing grid for all creation. And this is just some information I got from Instagram from Ash the Self Healer. And she explains these sacred energetic channels run deep within the soils of Mother Earth and span across all of creation. They intersect and coincide at many different points, and it's at these points that many ancient goddess temples and structures of past matriarchal societies have stood. The one that comes to mind most readily is the Vatican. The Vatican was an intersection of very powerful ley lines that were um, held or managed by the Sibyls, which were a group of very powerful matriarchs. They were melanated, they were from the continent of Africa, and they were the ones, the wise women that all the world leaders turned to for advice. So I'm so sorry I was not sharing the slides as we were going on. Um, the Great Pyramids of Giza, Machu Picchu, Glastonbury, and so on are other points where these ley lines intersected and are considered sacred sites, right? But I want us to consider that these ley lines are also the lines of current or the energetic connections between all of us on this meditation at this time. Okay, so just consider that every time we have these morning meditations, we are establishing another set of grid lines all over the earth, connecting each of us to each other. And this is why we breathe with each other to synchronize our brain hemispheres and to also concentrate and amplify the light within us, the light that we're able to receive, and therefore the energetic connection between all of us that are here on this meditation. Okay, so the ley lines are vital to maintaining the stability and infrastructure of Mother Earth. But for thousands of years, since the rise of the wounded patriarchal control, these energetic lines have stagnated or been blocked. Our meditation helps to unblock these channels and to strengthen the energetic grids. So this is why I say we are all grid workers. And this morning we are going to focus on the grids, right? Stabilizing the grids. So through reclamation of your own sacred feminine within, you can bring healing back to Mother Earth through descending deep into your own dark soils to unearth where your own inner energy lines have been disconnected, stagnated, and suppressed. You too can bring flow back to her once more. So, with that, we're going to close our eyes now, and we are going to be calling in the light to strengthen our chi, as Dr. Claudette refers to it. We're going to be connecting with the light from different heavenly sources. So right now, we connect with the light of our sun. We breathe in that light. A beautiful column of light now enters our crown from the heavens, and this light comes from our sun. And our sun has been doing the most. Our sun has been setting off coronal mass ejections like crazy because our sun knows that every time it sends off a CME, we are activated at the soul level. We are activated at the DNA level. And we are holding more light so that we can do this healing work that we're doing now, strengthening the grid, stabilizing the grid because we hold so much light. So continue to visualize beautiful golden light streaming in from the heavens to our crowns and streaming right through our bodies, entering our crown and going right down through our spinal column and exiting between our legs and continuing into the earth. Now we have solar connection between the heaven and the earth. So keep on visualizing that beautiful golden light streaming from our sun. In addition to our sun, we also visualize the great central sun at the center of the universe, streaming brilliant white platinum light down onto earth and individually into the crowns of our heads. And our right hemisphere and our left hemisphere are synchronized. They are prepared for this light. And because our hemispheres are synchronized, they know exactly what to do. They conduct that light down our spinal column to the spinal cord, the brain stem, down the spinal column. And that spinal column has lots of nerves branching off of it. And so this light now permeates every single organ because the nerves from our spinal column are branching out into our lungs, into our heart, into our stomach, into our liver, kidney, gallbladder, our spleen, our colon, both the large and the small intestines are being permeated with this powerful light from the sun and from the great central sun. And these light codes are clearing, cleansing, and activating all our organs at this time. All of our glandular system is being activated in this moment. Our reproductive system is being stimulated, cleared, cleansed, and activated in this moment. And we continue to breathe deeply, intentionally to the count of 4, holding to the count of 4, and gently breathing out to the count of 4. And with every breath, we are taking in the light and pulsing that light throughout our body. We are clearing, cleansing, and activating our circulatory system, our blood, our lymph. We are oxygenating our blood with every breath. We are oxygenating our brain with every breath. And as we sit here synchronized with each other, we are activating and healing our body. And we are doing this because the stronger our body is the more light it can contain, the more light it can hold, and the better we'll be able to be transmitters or beacons of light. So as we continue to breathe with intent, we fill our body with the life-giving source of the universe, of God, of our higher selves. And we continue to breathe, filling our bodies with this powerful healing light. And as we continue to breathe, we know that this light is a technology, and this light has the intelligence. So it is going to the cellular level and cleansing, clearing, and activating every cell in our body. Every cell in our body is being rejuvenated right now. Wherever there is illness or imbalance, we declare healing. In every organ that we have, wherever there is illness or imbalance, we declare healing. And as we continue to breathe, we now visualize this column of light going all the way down through our legs and all the way down to the core of Mother Earth, pulling up some of the magnetic properties of Mother Earth. And we now visualize that magnetic property coming back up through that column of light and swirling back into our bodies, starting at the root chakra and coming up through the sacral chakra, which is located near your belly button, and then up to the solar plexus, which is the chakra located where your stomach is, and then up into your heart. So that beautiful magnetic energy has now activated your root, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus chakra, and is now in your heart. And we're going to stay here in the heart for a few moments, pulling in, breathing in that beautiful magnetic energy from Mother Earth. And that magnetic energy that we are swirling in our heart right now is the magnetic energy that we are going to use to pull all the things that we need and require to us. And we pull it with love. We pull all the love that we need, all the resources that we need, all the help and assistance and support that we need. We draw that to us through the heart. Let's just spend a few moments here in silence. Perhaps you may verbalize all the things that your heart desires in this moment. And then we move up to this throat, which is right above the heart. And we use our throat intentionally to call to us what we desire in our reality, to command reality, to declare our will, and to speak into being what we desire, require, and more. We move up to the third eye, which is in our forehead, and we envision the reality that we want to see in our lives, in our affairs, in our family, in our friends, in our communities, in our country, and on the planet. The third eye is where we envision heaven on earth. So we spend a few moments here magnetizing the heaven on earth that we so dearly seek. This is where we visualize our optimal health. This is where we visualize our optimal joy and happiness. This is where we visualize beauty, truth, and all the things that we want to see. And then we move up to our crown with that beautiful magnetic energy from Mother Earth. And we connect to the divine source above. This is where everything culminates. This is where heaven is experienced on earth, right there in the crown, where heaven, the light from heaven, meets the energy of earth. And we breathe for a few moments in that realization. And so now we are filled with the energy from the heavens, the cosmic light, and we are filled with the energy of Mother Earth. And now we can visualize our energy field being amplified and widened, and our energy field, which is glowing with golden light and platinum white light. We visualize ourselves encapsulated in an orb that is constantly being filled with the golden light and the white light. And that beautiful orb expands and expands and expands, larger and larger, 5 feet out, 10 feet out, 20 feet out. And we continue to breathe into this orb and visualize the light shining and pouring into this orb from the heavens. Now that we are filled with so much light, wherever we are, I want us to visualize all those orbs of light connecting to each other, a beautiful ley line of solid gold and platinum and diamond light, connecting all these orbs of light and forming a beautiful lattice of light, a beautiful grid of light. We are forming that grid, and we are forming that grid this morning to stabilize what is happening on this planet. We are stabilizing the earth grid. We are stabilizing the crystal grid. We're stabilizing the light grid. We are the light grid, stabilizing the earth grid and the crystalline grid. We are the living light grid. We are stabilizing the earth at this time as we anticipate solar flares in the next couple of days that can potentially knock out our power grids, that can potentially cause massive earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. At this time, there is an active undersea volcano in the Pacific right now that has not erupted in centuries, that is beginning to show activity. This morning, this group of us will consciously connect with the volcanoes and the tectonic plates all over the planet and stabilize these plates, stabilize them in such a way that we will slowly and gently release the pressure wherever it is so that we don't have any cataclysmic events. We slowly vent the volcanoes so that they can release energy that they need to release without any kind of cataclysm. We stabilize the tides so that there will not be any swishing of the oceans at this time. We stabilize the mountains, the valleys, and the plains and the plateaus. We stabilize the plates and gently visualize each plate shifting gently to release whatever pressure there is. At this time, we move to the energies surrounding our planet right now. And we know there's negative and there's positive energy. And we visualize now bringing the positive and negative energies into balance, because this 3-3 portal is all about balancing and bringing things back into equilibrium. And so we visualize a world where the energies are balanced. Where there is evil, we bolster it with extra good. We flood it with love. We flood it with light and balance out whatever evil there is. We send our energy right now towards all the genocides that are happening on this planet, whether known or unknown, because we know a lot, but there are also a lot of things that we do not know. And at this time, we bring them into our consciousness and we command and declare that these genocides halt. We declare a situation where the enemies or the root causes of these genocides are weakened and rendered incapable of supporting the genocides anymore. We weaken the machinery of war, the military complex, we weaken those. We create glitches today in those mechanisms. We also create glitches among the corrupt, glitches among the greedy, glitches where distribution of arms and ammunitions are concerned. We visualize our light grid now forming a massive global frequency fence around every country, preventing any kind of war or missiles or any kind of attack on the countries. The most vulnerable countries, of course, being the Middle East, being areas on the African continent. And we know that our frequency fence is powerful enough to prevent countries from being attacked with military force, and also to prevent the countries from being attacked with frequency weapons, whether it's 5G or direct energy weapons. Our grid that we are creating and visualizing this morning will protect against all of those as well. As we continue to breathe, we end this morning's meditation, grid activation with the knowing that as we slowly pull back our energy from this lattice work. We stand wherever we are, filled with this beautiful light. Our hearts are pure and strong. Our visions are strong. Our voices are strong. And we stand here knowing that we have just been strengthened and activated to continue to be transmitters of light for the rest of the day and even beyond today. We know that this is critical for the next couple of days as the earth is vulnerable to a lot of movement. She is purging, she is moving into 5D, and it is the travail, it is the quickening that we are going to be witnessing in the next couple of days. And so we as the midwives have just put in the mechanism to soothe the energies surrounding Mother Earth. Take a nice deep breath in and breathe out. It is done. It is done. It is done. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this morning's meditation. I don't believe that Tonya is here at this time. Um, let's see. Um, just to see if she would like to have a few final words. Yes, Tonya is here. Dr. Claudette. We're just bringing everybody on to just give their final reflections and their final words. Ladies, if there's anything that you'd like to say, if there's nothing else, that's also fine.
I would like to say thank you. This was beautiful.
We're still here.
Yes, yes, I know we all went deep into meditation, so
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
sometimes I can't just call you back when I'm finished. I know I need to give everybody a chance to disconnect from the visuals and from the depth that they have just gone. But thank you to everyone. Thank you for your beautiful energy.
Mm.
Thank you for, you know, sharing my delusion, whatever, the form of my delusion is very noble, I have to say.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
And I want to thank Dr. Claudette for that message about balance. I think
Mm-hmm.
that is so relevant at this
You're
time.
welcome. Yes, yes.
And it would be
Yes.
wonderful if you could come back at least once a month with the theme for the month. Yes.
I
Yes,
think I
yes.
think that's very appropriate. I
I
think
think
it's
we have a
very
lot that
appropriate.
we can learn and begin to bring our awareness to get back in alignment
Mm-hmm.
with
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
nature, with creation, with spirit, with source on a
Yes.
Yes.
different level, on a deeper level,
Mm-hmm.
one that will eventually allow us to be more aligned with our
Yes.
true nature. And I think
This
that
is so. Yes.
And I think that was the vision that we had
Yeah.
Mhm.
for getting into natural time and
Mhm.
understanding the foundations of the calendar and not just looking at it as a date, but bringing all the elements in and really connecting it back to the source of everything and to our chi, our energy, our cleaning of ourselves. So I just, really, really, appreciate all that was shared this morning. Thank you, Tonya. Thank you, Dr. Claudette. We really appreciate, and thank you to all the people that are here with us, because guess what? No grid can build if we don't have no light points, and every one of you provided that point
Mhm.
for us to create
Mhm.
this grid to stabilize. Because, guys, it's not my imagination. We are going to have to do this that we just did a while ago. We're going to have, this is what I mean by we have to get together, create a grid, and stabilize the earth grid, because there's going to be a lot happening. And every time something happens, you can stop where you are, and you, little old you, can stabilize the grid just with your consciousness and your understanding and your connection to the light. So I want to thank Angela, Janet, Don, Tony,
And I just want to
Cherie.
acknowledge the roosters that began to vibrate with us. They were present during the meditation as well. I heard them. Thank
You
you.
know,
Giving thanks to the roosters for the call.
yes, 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 yes. Jindriska, Pretty Girl Chrissy. Yeah, we see you all and we thank you. Um, Janet says, thank you for the inner deep dive of cleansing and renewing with the electric light. This has deepened my thinking from the ego mind. Yes, thank you. This is our objective.
Beautiful.
Going going into understanding that we are more than just this flesh and
Yes.
bone with pain and drama in our household and in our relationship. We are just so much more than that, and we
Yes.
need to move accordingly. We need to move with the power that we were given at birth. We need to remind ourselves of it, and then we need to activate it and then use it. So this is what I'm saying to you. During the course of this week, I may call an emergency meditation just because of what I may perceive to be happening
Mm.
tectonically,
Mhm.
seismically,
Mm.
volcanically, or even
Mhm.
war wise. Okay, and when
Mhm.
we call this meditation, it will be for this reason.
Mhm.
um as I said before, the new moon is on the 26th of May. We are going to reinitiate those crystal grid activations.
Mhm.
For those of you that are not aware of how those used to go, each person who knows that they want, those are closed sessions, by the way. Each person that knows that they want to be a part of it, they would purchase a crystal, one or two crystals. Each crystal will have a specific intention on it. So, for example, I have my crystals here, yeah? And I would say, okay, this one is for my personal affairs, and this one is for collective. And those two crystals are laid on the crystal grid with your name on it. We're doing it in real time. So if I have 20 persons and each person has a crystal, then I have 20 crystals that I will place at a specific point, and I give you the chance to speak
Mhm.
into that crystal and that crystal grid and into the sacred geometry. The crystals are intelligent. The crystals are connected to other crystals
Mhm.
on the planet. The crystals are connected to the
Mhm.
crystal grid. And so what happens is that there is quantum entrainment of the grid, your words, the sound, and it goes up into the quantum field and is alchemized, and manifestation
You
is the
say?
next outcome. It's a very powerful thing. I discontinued it for a little while because we had done it for a whole year, and a lot of what we see happening on this planet right now, we initiated 3 years ago, declaring it, decreeing it, commanding it. We prayed for glitches in the system. We prayed for truth to be revealed. And let me tell you guys, all of that is happening now. But I feel as if we're moving into a new layer of energy work that needs to be done. And so this is why I'm going to be, I've been guided by spirit to reinitiate the crystal grid. They're very powerful
He
also
said,
for work that you're doing on the personal level,
mm-hmm,
challenges that you may be having. You know, there are persons who would put a crystal down for their son or for their
mm-hmm,
daughter that would be
mm-hmm.
having challenges, somebody having challenges with an illness. And let me tell you, there were huge transformations. We normally charge like $11 for each crystal, and it's a beautiful, beautiful moment. We leave the crystal grid up for maybe 2 days, and then I dismantle it. But it's very, very powerful. So look out for that. Also, as I had said earlier on in the session, we are going to be restarting our ancestral resolve sessions with myself, Antonia, and Rohan. Rohan Clark is on, acknowledging Rohan. More than likely, Rohan is here. Rohan was clearing through that meditation a while ago, so you all got some of that clearing a while ago as well. But that again also will be closed sessions. They're not open to the public. You have to register for those and come in. But we are going to be doing them weekly. We're
Mm-hmm.
intensifying we're intensifying because we know that the times are going to be intense and people need to be cleared of these ancestral issues so that they can move forward lighter, stronger, and able to assist others. So, this is why, sometimes everything is dormant, quiet, and not doing anything. And then suddenly I just run upon you guys and say, come, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing that. Anytime you see me start moving like that, guys, it's because I am getting some sense that we need to double up as a collective. Okay? So don't mind me. Don't mind me. Just listen out, watch the space, and you will be updated. So, again, thank you all. Thank you all for being here. I see you. I acknowledge you. I send you my love. I send you my gratitude.
He
I send
said,
you my blessings.
he said, he said, beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Namaste. Jishikero.
Namaste. Yes.
Thank you.